Hello guys, you're welcome to aerodynamics engineering. So in our today's class, we'll be discussing on the properties of fluid. Properties of fluid. Believe me that every fluid, as we already discussed in our previous class, that a fluid is any substance that deforms continuously under the application of a shear force. And we said the shear force is just the normal force that is being applied. So as we discussed in our previous class, that a fluid is any substance that deforms continuously under the application of a shear stress. And we further define that the stress we are talking about is just application of force. Remember we said stress is force all over area. Yes. So a liquid is any substance that deforms continuously when a shear stress is being applied on it, irrespective of the size, the small amount of force the substance will deform. So on today's class, we are going into the properties, physical properties of a fluid. You believe me that every fluid has its physical properties, and that is what we'll be discussing today. So the first property will be density. Density. I believe many people have been hearing density. So density is the mass per unit volume of a substance. The mass per unit volume of a substance. So this is what density means, the mass per unit volume of a substance, which is denoted as this all over this. So mass per unit volume of a substance is density. This simply means how much of mass is contained in a volume. Yes. So how much of mass, how much of this M is contained in a volume? Assuming we have this to be the volume of any substance. So how much density now is how much mass is contained in this volume. So that is what is density. Density is the mass per unit volume of a substance. So in the course of us evolving in this very construct techniques, we pay so much attention into this very physical property of a fluid, which is density. And it's very simple, just mass all over the volume. That's what will give you your density. So we'll go to the second one. Second property of fluid is viscosity. Viscosity, this is how fluid behaves. So just like in our electricity, we have what we call resistance, which resists the flow of current flowing through a conductor. So now, in the aspect of fluid, viscosity refers to internal friction or resistance to flow that a fluid exhibits when force is being applied. So simply it is the behavior of fluid. When an external force is being applied to a fluid, how do they behave? So that is viscosity, just how fluid behaves. So this refers to internal friction or resistance to flow that a liquid exhibits when a force is being applied. So that is what is called viscosity.
Number 3 is
Surface tension is the property of a liquid that causes yes, surface tension. Surface tension is the property of a fluid that causes it to behave like a stretched elastic sheet at its surface. So the number three is surface tension. That must be put into consideration. The number four is specific volume. This refers to the volume the molecules is in a fluid. Specific volume. This refers to the volume a molecule that is in a fluid. Specific volume. This refers to the volume per molecules that is in a fluid. Then we'll progress into looking at another property of fluid, which is temperature. This is very, very important, and it is defined as this is the degree of hotness and coldness of a substance. So temperature is the degree of hotness or coldness of a substance, which many of us know this. It is measured by Celsius, it is measured by Kelvin, and also uh, Fahrenheit. Pressure. Another property of fluid is pressure. Pressure. Yes. This is a force applied unit area. Yes. So simply force. Pressure is the force applied per unit area. That is very simple for today's class, which is force all over A, which is the cross-sectional area. Pressure, this is the force per unit area. This is your cross-sectional area. So the next property of fluid is specific weight. You must be putting this into specific weight. P and G. So that is specific, going to specific gravity. The density of a substance. Density of a substance all over density of water. So for us to get specific gravity, it is density of that very substance. It might be mercury, it might be any substance at all over the density of water. Those are the properties, the physical properties of a fluid. There are so many others, But for the fact for today's class, we'll be discussing just what I've given to you now, which is remember density, viscosity, specific weight, specific gravity, your temperature, and specific heat, and lot more. So as we keep continuing, as we keep coming, we'll have opportunity to learn more. See you all at the top. See you at the best fluid mechanics engineer. Do well to subscribe to the channel. Do well to on your notification buttons. Do well to comment and share. See you next week in our next class. Thank you.